Hey, what's up guys? We made it through another day 1 raid and what a grind that was. I completed the Root of Nightmares raid at 4:30 a.m. on the second day. My clan and I made it to the final boss on the first day after 15 hours of grinding. Fatigue started to get the best of us, so we decided to take on the boss second day. Second day we finally got a good strategy going and we're so close to beating him, but a couple of our guys had to get off and we ultimately gave up. After midnight hit, I changed my mind and decided to go back in with LFGs. There is no way I was taking this L. After a few teams, I found a solid squad and we finally took down Nezarec. Overall, I enjoyed the day 1 raid experience. There were many things I enjoyed and others not so much, so let's get into the details. First and foremost, the scenery and graphics were incredible. The raid took place on a pyramid in Earth's orbit. We were on a pyramid that was hit by the Traveler's beam in the opening cutscene, and you can see the effects from this throughout the raid. There were giant swirl structures full of vibrant colors all over the place that seemed to be the aftermath from the beam's impact. It was so beautiful and a true masterpiece by the raid design team. I also thought it was really cool how the raid aligned with the story. Like many other Guardians, I was super confused with the campaign and the Veil and why we were at Neonuma and not defending Earth, so I was glad to see the raid was a fight in Earth's orbit. Now let's talk about the encounters. First encounter had a couple objectives but is mostly a bunch of ad clear and killing the dreaded Tormentors, who were quite the challenge on contest mode. My clan and I went in blind, so it took us a while to figure out the mechanics, but once we got them down, we beat the first encounter relatively quickly. Overall, I think it is a fun encounter, and it kind of feels like Surochi with all the ad clear and super spamming. We had a tougher time with the second encounter, because on contest mode, you had to keep it clean with no errors, and there were so many things that kept going wrong mechanically. We ran it back after contest mode, and it went much smoother, and I do like the encounter, especially as a runner, because you are jumping back and forth across this big gap, and it is time sensitive so you can feel the pressure to not screw up. It may get a little boring if you aren't a runner, because you're essentially ad clear the whole time, but maybe that's what you prefer. Third encounter was our first boss fight, and it gave us some serious trouble. It took us over 5 hours to get the clear on day 1. It took 3 damage phases with nearly flawless mechanics in between, and on the last one, we were all out of ammo, so we had to hot swap to Outbreak Perfected for the last bit of damage to get the clear. The room is really cool, with planets floating up above the room and being part of the mechanics. The mechanics are fun once you get them figured out, however, we struggled with them in contest mode. There were endless amounts of ads, and the Colossus was super tanky and would kill you with one stomp. The damage phase has some fun elements with an epic final stand. It is similar to Caretaker with 3 plates, but you do need to be a bit more methodical with them. The boss did seem a little underwhelming because he was essentially a chubby Cabal commander. After contest mode, it seems like an easy 2 phase and potential 1 phase. Both jumping puzzles are kinda easy, but the beautiful scenery makes them enjoyable. Finally, we made it to Nezarec, the final god of pain. The stage for the boss fight looks absolutely epic and is the location of the impact from the Traveler's beam. You can see the Traveler floating above you with the mandala-looking portal, as well as a giant tree formed by the Traveler. So many teams got stuck on the boss on contest mode, including my clan. The mechanics are pretty simple, yet quite difficult on contest mode, especially for the people who have to grab hatred from the boss. This can be a difficult task, and if you mess up, it usually would result in a wipe. You only need to shoot the boss on the crit in his chest, but he would often do random wacky things, so it made it very challenging. I wasn't a huge fan of this part because it was so random, but the damage phase was relatively easy and fun. Overall, it seems like a decent encounter, but Nezarec is also kinda underwhelming because he's essentially a reskin and chunkier version of Rolk, and his final stand is a breeze. The mechanics do not seem as clean as Rolk's, and now, without contest mode, he's going to be super easy to defeat. Again, an easy 2 phase and potential 1 phase. To wrap this up, I am a big fan of the Root of Nightmares raid. Once we get the mechanics down, we should be able to pop out sub-hour runs no problem. Similar to Deepstone Crypt, we'll be able to bust out some quick routes. I will be looking forward to farming it this season to craft these red frames and get the new exotic conditional finality. I hear that thing is insane. I will work on a raid guide for each encounter to help you guys get easy clears. Have a good one, guys, and happy grinding.